Engine 1 for car 1. Car 1's on scene. Assume in command. Give me a C.A.N report.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mike Goldstein, Stickers of the C.A.N report. Mazel tov, everybody. I have Colorado in the house. I have Brian Bonar. He is a very passionate young gentleman who is on the job in Colorado, and it also helps with March Mayhem and is also part of the cadre of ambassadors of the craft. And we have him on today, and I'm excited to have him. And of course, a little housekeeping before we dive in. Click like, subscribe. Let me know that you guys are listening. Let me know you guys are liking what I'm doing. And if you have any suggestions for guests, please, by all means, send me a message. I'd love to know what you guys want to see or who you want me to talk to. And if you have something that you want to say and you want to get on here and you got a good message, hit me up and we'll talk and see what we can do. So, Brian Bonar, thank you, brother, for being on the C.A.N report.
Thank you for the opportunity, brother. I mean, as a young guy with not a lot of experience and not a lot to say, I mean, it's a big honor to be on a podcast that I've listened to and my mentors have been on recently. So,
yeah, they have. And it's good to have you. Brian and I have been talking for a couple of weeks now, almost a month. I'm going to be going out there for the March Mayhem. And we started talking about the technical side of stuff. Brian does a lot of behind the scenes of getting all the audio and visual, and he's going to help us all look profesh during the whole conference. So I'm really excited to work with you and actually just everybody. I've never been to Idaho in my lifetime, so I'm excited just to get out there and see what Idaho is like.
It is, from a Southern California boy, it is a special place.
Well, I mean, I'm from New Hampshire, right? So, I mean, I'm used to trees, I'm used to forests, and I imagine Idaho's kind of like that. So
a little similar. It's a little warmer than your neck of the woods, that's for sure.
Well, I like warm, so especially in March because it's still super cold in New Hampshire in March. So, Brian, I'm going to dive into your bio real quick here, so everyone knows who you are and what you do, and a little bit about you. So, Brian Bonar, he is 26 years old from Colorado. He is a tailboard fireman with the Palisade Fire Department in Palisade, Colorado. He is relatively new to the fire service with only 18 months on the line as a fireman, but prior to living his dream and becoming a fireman, he had been a single role EMT basic since 2021. He's also privileged to be an instructor at the Colorado Mesa University Tech Fire Academy. He is the media director of the March Mayhem Fire Conference, as well as the member of the ambassadors of the craft training cadre. He has also been supremely privileged to own his own photography company called 760 Fire Photography. He formed that in 2019. Going from photographer to fireman, he has been on one of the greatest journeys of his life, and he has led him to the accomplishment of a dream 23 years in the making. He has been lucky to have the support of his family, friends, instructors, and mentors along the way. I love it, Brian. Love the passion. Love the energy behind it. And thank you again for being on this program.
Thank you again for the opportunity, Mike. I mean, to say that I'm honored is an understatement.
I appreciate it, dude, man. It's great. Like Brian and I have been talking on the phone, spitballing ideas. And as I just started talking with you, I'm like, man, this kid he's happy. He's got great energy. And like, I got to meet you and I got to talk to you. And I want the world to see somebody who's young, ambitious, and full of life. So here you are. So Brian, how did you get into the fire service?
Fire service for me has been a lifelong thing. I have wanted to be a fireman since I was 3 years old. My grandfather on my mom's side did 20 years in the Army, and he got out as a major. And whenever he came to visit us when I was growing up in SoCal, we would always go to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar to go to the PX because better prices on stuff. Mm-hmm. And he would always take me to the Miramar Fire Station every time he was in town, to the point where the captains on shift knew who I was. And one day I was on a tour with them, just talking shop, and I was talking about their engine. I was like 5, telling them all the different things the pump did. And the captain apparently looked over at my grandpa and said, "This kid knows more than some of our new guys." And I just laugh now about it. I'm like, man, I was a nerd.
That's awesome.
But I mean,
and you just kept going with it, right?
Yeah, I just ran with it. Started getting books for Christmas and going to fire stations from Southern California to Scotland. I mean, everywhere I went, I was really privileged to travel the world with my family because my dad is from the United Kingdom. So I'm actually a dual citizen. So I got to travel the world with him. And my mom, and it's been a ride, man, to say the least, from SoCal to Scotland and everywhere in between: Mexico, Panama, Paraguay, the Cayman Islands, the East Coast, West Coast, Central United States, Canada. I mean, I can't say enough about how fun this journey has been. Now that I look back at it, it's been kind of like an addiction my entire life.
Can be. Yeah, man, when you get that bug, right? Especially like for you, man, you're still so new into it. So every day is a new day. Yeah. Every day is an adventure for you. Every day is just something going to be an eye-opening experience. Now, are you full-time with Palisade?
I am a part-time firefighter there. So we are a combination department. There is only 9 full-time, 10 if you count our chief, 10 full-time members. There are 8 part-time members and then a bunch of volunteers. Myself and a couple of the other part-timers that I went to academy with, we all work like full-timers. So we're all working our absolute maximum allowable hours every pay period. Just because for us, it's a learning experience. It's fun. It beefs up our staffing. And at least for me, I have not fought a structured fire yet because apparently the fire gods hate me. But every day isn't a chance to go to a job or go make somebody's day better. Because my district, our population, our average age is like 60. So we have a lot of super elderly folks in our district, and they get really embarrassed when they call us. And, I get it. But I always look down at them and I'm like, hey, we're here to help you. This is what we're here for. Don't feel embarrassed. You're not inconveniencing us. It's okay. Like, it's okay to need a little bit of help every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it when the elementary schools come by the firehouse, or we get to go there and get to give the kiddos stickers and talk about the trucks. And because I've been where they are. I've been that kid that stops and turns his head every time he sees a fire truck. I'm like that as an adult.
Yeah, right.
I mean, aren't we all, right? Every fireman's like, ooh, fire truck.
Yeah, I did that with my kids today. We went to Chick-fil-A and we were in the city called Nashua, and I see them driving past. They're flying to a call, and they're in their old backup piece. It's an old Pierce. It's like a 2001. And I just listening to it, as soon as I can hear, I'm like, oh, that's the old piece. And I can just see them flying by and listening to the horn and listening, just seeing the old school truck. I'm like, oh, that's the spare piece. You can hear that horn. Like, and the girl's like, oh yeah, Dad, we get it. It's a fire truck. Yeah. You know, so impressive. They're just so numb to it because their grandfather was on the job for 28 years. Now they got me. My brother-in-law is also on the job. Their great grandfather was on the job. So they're just so used to us talking about trucks and talking about calls that they just like, yep, there's another red truck going by. Cool. Whoop-de-doo.
It's like, God, Dad, shut up.
Right. But for us, it's always like, it's like we never seen one before. Like, oh, look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah. I mean,
but you started as EMT.
Yeah.
And you said single role. Does that mean you're working at a private ambulance company?
So at least the way I was brought up, single role was non-safety. So you're not a fireman. Sometimes you're in a firehouse, sometimes you're not. So I started with a private ambulance company in Southern California. Even before that, when I was an EMR, I was the, quote, fire and life safety coordinator at a boutique hotel that my dad owns. So my job was to make sure that if there was trees down or whatever, to make sure people were getting called to come and mitigate that, because I was like 18.
Sure.
More so. My son's annoying. I'm going to give him something to do so he stops telling me about fire code violations. And then I started, once I went to EMT school at the start of COVID, with that private ambulance company. Just, dude, BLS IFT runs. I swear it was the most mind-numbing experience of my life, because we were averaging like 27 calls in a 24-hour period per truck, and we ran 3 trucks out of our station. So it was constant.
The private ambulance world, I started my career working in the private ambulance sector as well. I started as a dispatcher, and I worked for a private ambulance company called Rockingham Regional Ambulance. It was like the premier elite private ambulance company in New Hampshire. And we, like you just said, like running 27 calls in a row, we were just so busy. And being a dispatcher for them, I always felt bad because, I was sending them all over God's green earth, and there was no rest. And, for private ambulance service, it's all about the mighty dollar. So you don't stop. And you have to keep going to get those schedules filled in there. So like the interfacility transports and the wheelchair van rides, and it was relentless. And so I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm on an engine now. I mean, my department, we are a cross-staffing department because we are so small. So out of our house, we run 2 ambulances, an engine, water tender or tanker, your neck of the woods, and 2 brush trucks. So we
Nice.
cross-staff everything. So depending on what call drops is what we're taking.
Sure.
Like if we get an MVC or a car wreck, we'll take the engine and an ambulance. But we do what's called second call paging. So if we're out on a run and we get a second call, they will page out second call.
Mm-hmm.
So if the other part of the crew is there, they will go and take the other ambulance. Or if somebody's there by themselves with Chief will drive them, and then they'll run the call.
Gotcha.
We're finally getting some ALS, so it's making life a little easier. And like, I'll print out the 12 leads and go, oh, these squiggles look scary. Help. And but it's a fun department. It's slow. We run about 1,200 calls a year, but it has been a great working opportunity to learn, and it's been a great opportunity to make some really cool friends. I mean, I've never had a bad experience with anybody I've worked with.
That's great. Then you're in the right place then. If everyone's getting along and you haven't met one shithead, that's fantastic. That's going to keep that passion burning and want to keep going. And I know I take it you want to become a full-time member.
Yeah, I've got applications out in like 5 or 6 different states right now. I mean, I would love to stay here because I'm already here. I've got a great relationship with everybody. But where the job takes me, the job takes me. I mean, I'm not going to complain because it's all an opportunity to learn and get better and make somebody's day better. So
now, we were talking earlier, you were really motivated as well to start this service to become an EMT and firefighter because something happened in with your own personal experience with immediate family. So what went on with that?
So my brother C.A.N and my brother Adrian, I'm one of 7 siblings. I'm the second youngest.
Okay.
So my 2 older brothers, the 2 brothers most senior to me, passed away. Adrian was unfortunately killed by a cartel-connected gang in 2019. And then C.A.N overdosed about 5 months later. So I'd always wanted to be a fireman, and I didn't know I had to be an EMT. And after all that, I was like, I need to go to EMT school. And I am definitely the odd man out in my family as far as career choice because my oldest brother, Niven, is a CEO. My oldest sister, Pauline, is a CEO. My oldest sister, Victoria, she is going to be a naturopathic doctor. She's in school for that. And then my younger brother, Scott, who's only 22, is a CEO. And then there's me, fireman.
Are they all CEOs of the hotel that your father runs? Or
no? So my dad is the owner of about 75 different companies.
Okay.
So my little brother owns a clothing company, which is named after our brother C.A.N Mitchell Clothing. My brother Niven is the CEO of a marketing and like payroll firm. My sister is CEO of the hotel and a staffing firm and another investment firm that my dad owns. And then I have nothing to do with any of the companies, which not gonna lie, I kind of like because it makes my life a little less stressful. But the joke at family dinner is when business partners are there is, oh, there's Brian, who's a fireman, and there's all these CEOs. What'd you do, Brian? What happened? I was like, I'd rather shoot myself than work in a cubicle.
Well, then they can pick up the tab. I would say you're a CEO and I'm a blue collar fireman, so I'm gonna order dessert and you pick up the tab.
That's what I always laugh. I'm like, I'll buy a bottle of wine and you guys can buy the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. So I mean, even crazy the fact that you got all those successful family members as well, and you're being very successful as well with your photography and then also embarking on this career. But the story behind it, man, that is crazy. Like your 2 brothers passing away as they did. I mean, I don't know how much you want to dive in it, but the cartel thing, like, dude, I can't ignore that.
No,
You just
not at all. I get it.
Like, that's a bomb, dude. So like, how does that happen? Because were you in California at that time? Or were you living in Colorado?
No, I was living in California. I've actually only lived in Colorado for the last 3 years.
Okay.
So Adrian was kind of a troubled kid. Kind of in and out of drugs, alcohol from an early age. I mean, we all made stupid mistakes growing up, drinking when we weren't supposed to and whatnot. Adrian kind of fell into drugs. We sent him to military school and he excelled. I mean, he was the class leader, no drugs. He achieved the highest rank of major, and everybody looks at my last name is going to say, oh, haha, it looks like Bonar. And Adrian, when he graduated high school and got promoted to cadet major, he runs up to my dad and I and goes, Dad, I got promoted to major. I'm a Major Bonar. So I was like, oh God, this kid's meant for the Army. So he joined the Army in 2005. Ended up in Iraq starting in 2006 to 2008, kind of at the height of the surge. Came home, unfortunately struggled with PTS and fell back into drugs. That was a 15-year ordeal. I had talked to him probably 3 or 4 weeks before he went missing. He went missing, which we didn't know he was missing. October 4th, 2019, which we're pretty sure is the day he actually died. We were told by the Anaheim Police Department that he was found October 17th or 18th, 2019, whatever that Friday was. The detectives, I got to give a shout out to Mark Gale and the Anaheim Homicide Unit. Those guys had everyone involved in custody and charged within a month of them finding him. Those dudes are animals. Like, they were on it. And yeah, I mean, I found out that he had died on Facebook. My parents were trying to get to me to get a hold of me because I was at work.
Oh, gotcha.
And the mother of one of Adrian's kids, posted, "Rest in peace, Adrian. Your son will always love you." And I was like, what the hell? So I called my sister because I was thinking, oh, this chick's fucking crazy. What's going on? And my sister answers the phone. She's sobbing. And I was like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah.
So I called my dad and I was like, Dad, what's the deal? And I could hear my stepmom in the room with him. And my dad was like, son, how'd you find out? I was like, I saw it on Facebook. Like, somebody posted a memorial thing for him. And he was like, fuck, son, I'm so sorry. You should not have found out like that. Your mom is actually on her way to you right now to tell you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I honestly just kind of switched off. Like, my bosses, I was working at that hotel. They said I just kind of switched off. I went off and had a few minutes to myself and then went back about my workday, finished my workday, and then went home. It was just different. I mean, I punched a hole in a metal building, but
yeah. Dude,
my knuckles are still a little fucked up. But
were you? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, my mom said I was actually very stoic. Like, the way, I mean, I was a pretty emotional kid growing up, but she said I was very, very stoic during that whole situation.
Now, were you really tight with your older brother? Were you guys, was he kind of like a mentor to you? Did you have a special bond, a relationship? And I mean, because sometimes brothers mix and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
So
Adrian and I were, growing up, the only way to describe it, we were best friends. I mean, he was my idol. When he went to Iraq, it tore me apart. I was like 8, but what 8-year-old isn't going to be? It tore me apart when he went to Iraq. And I actually switched the dream of wanting to join the Army so I could be like him.
Yeah.
And he always told me, which, believe it or not, I actually believed him. That you ever do what I do, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. He told me and our little brother Scott, if you two ever fall into drugs like I did, I will, quote, beat the living shit out of you, end quote. And we believed him. Because Adrian was a big dude. I mean, he was 6'1", 240, probably 2% body fat. Like, he was not a small dude. And it was the hardest part of that whole situation for me wasn't telling Scott because he already knew, or dealing with the funeral. It was calling his Army buddies. I was the one, because I stayed connected with all of them over the years. So I was the one that had to call them and tell them. Like, that was probably the hardest part of that whole situation for me. And I would laugh with my brother C.A.N at the funeral, because we went to the funeral. It was a military thing. There's like 300 or 400 people there. And I'm actually the one that gave the speech, like the one sibling speech at 20. And C.A.N and I were laughing. He was like, what do you see? And I'm like, oh, cop, 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 cop. I picked out like 14 cops in the crowd.
Wow.
And my little brother, he asked me one day, he's like, why are you like this? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, why are you not like broken up? I was like, can't stop. Got to keep moving. You got to feel what you got to feel, but you can't let it stop you.
Yeah. And
then 5 months later, I got the call. Actually, I was listening to another podcast that I was on when I was a new photographer. I don't know if you follow Rich Zuniga at Geek Fire Inc.
No, I don't.
So Rich is an LA County guy. He had a podcast called Talking Out of My Stash way back when. And I was on that podcast. I was listening to it that morning, and my mom came in and told me that C.A.N had overdosed and passed. So I finished getting ready and got up, listened. We went in and told Scott, and Scott and I were both really close with Cannon because he actually lived at our dad's house with us. So we were really, really close with him. And that was the hardest one for me because I had just talked to him 2 days before.
Yeah.
And I hadn't talked to Adrian in weeks. And so having to break that to Scott, who was only 16 at the time, broke my heart. I mean, it really messed me up to have to tell my little brother that, because my mom couldn't get the words out.
Yeah.
So I had to tell him. And when we went up and we did that, and this sounds kind of fucked up, is I actually slid 20 during the funeral and the viewing, because Cannon's mom is from the South. I actually slid $20 in his suit pocket during the viewing because we made a joking bet. Whoever died first, the other one owed him $20. And I was like, nice one, asshole, you won. And after that, COVID hit and the world shut down. Like literally 4 days after his funeral, the world shut down. So I kind of was forced to deal with that grief. And then I went to EMT school. I mean, it was kind of this happened. That sucks. All right, school time.
Yeah, you just kept going. You didn't stop.
I haven't stopped for the last 6 years, brother. Trust me.
Wow, dude, what a story, man. But for Adrian, how does the cartel get involved in that? You said he was into drugs.
Yeah. So at least from the story I've been told by the police, the DA, my parents, Adrian was working for a gang, quote unquote. It wasn't like Crips or Bloods or anybody, but like gang. And he had owed them some money, and that gang was connected to the cartel or bought their things from some cartel. I don't know which one, but not to sound a little messed up, but the media got a hold of this pretty quickly. They were showing up at our house. Like the British media was saying it was MS-13. Because my dad's fairly wealthy and he's from the UK, so they got a hold of it. And my siblings are like, the rest of my siblings are like, oh my God, what if MS-13 did this? And I was like, guys, I hate to say this to you, but if it was MS-13, they would have mailed us his fucking head. Not MS-13. Like, how do you know? I'm like, have you watched the news recently?
Yeah.
Like, it's not rocket science here. But I don't know really how the cartel was involved. I know a total of 9 people were involved in his murder. And I got a little solace a couple months ago during one of the trials. The DA informed me that Adrian actually fought 9 grown men by himself before he was killed, and threw one of them through a wall. So I just kind of chuckled to myself. I was like, damn, all right, he at least went down swinging.
Yeah, he did. Wow.
Went down like an infantryman.
Damn, bro, that's crazy, man. I don't want to dwell too much on you, bring up all that bad shit, but like, that's like sitcom shit, dude. That's like HBO. I mean, that's Netflix made for TV shit. Like that's
like a Blue Bloods episode. I swear to God.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you opening up and being so honest about it. But that is insane, dude. And for you to just keep trucking on and getting your dream out there, man, and doing what you want to do. And I mean, I can't, obviously I don't know your family, but and your brothers, but I imagine they got to be pretty proud of you for not letting that side rail you, and knowing that you wanted to succeed. I'm sure they wanted you to continue on with your goals and your dreams, and you're doing it.
Yeah, I would say they are. I mean, my little brother and I are probably the closest out of all our siblings. My sister Victoria and I were the next closest gap. She's 10 years older than me. My other siblings, Niven is almost 30 years older than me. Pauline is 30 years older than me. So
30 years older than you?
Yeah, my dad is 78.
Shit. Holy shit, dude.
So we have a pretty big age gap. So Scotty and I are
you would say so. Okay.
And, Scotty is he's a little shit, but he's my little shit. So
yeah. Awesome. So obviously with all that going on, that just kept you wanting to be a firefighter even more.
Yeah, I wanted to make a difference because I said, I actually said at Adrian and Cannon's funerals both, I basically said the same speech. I said, I am going to be a fireman like I always told you I would be, and I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure no 20-year-old ever has to bury their siblings like this if I can help it.
Yeah, that's definitely going to keep you driven, dude, right? Like, I mean, what better way to keep you on track? What better way to try to make a difference in the world by having their memory carry on through you with being a civil servant and helping others, you know?
Be of service. And my biggest thing is like, I've been incredibly privileged because of how wealthy my family is in my life of getting to go and do the things that I've done. I've had to endure some hard shit, but my life is not near as hard as some other people's and a lot of other people's. And my big thing is like, if I can make somebody's day just a little bit better, like give a homeless guy $20 to go get a hot meal in the winter, or save somebody's cat out of a tree, or reset some smoke checker batteries, like I'm doing something right if I'm doing that.
I love it. So fast forward, how did you meet Gino and Jay Fulmer of Ambassadors of the Craft?
Gino and Jason, those two, I have been a pain in their ass for the last 2 years.
I can only imagine, man.
Yeah. So I met Gino. I was living in Idaho working as an EMT for Ada County Paramedics, which is their kind of one of their county ambulance services.
Okay.
Gino's training chief passed away. Chief Trotsky, who's actually the father of one of our members on Ambassadors of the Craft. Really good friend of mine, Cody. And I was one of the many photographers and media personnel that were at that funeral. It's a light of duty funeral. It's a big fucking deal, especially in a community like that. So you're going to get I was photographing the procession and stuff that was going on outside, and all the media guys and I had made a kind of an understanding of we're not going anywhere near the door. Period. Point blank. Nothing. Obviously, the fire guys probably wouldn't have let us even if we tried. But we said that, no, that's just out of respect for the family, out of respect for them. No, that's not happening. So I sent Gino, who was at the time the president of the Treasure Valley Fools, a message on Instagram. I was like, hey, man, I'm very sorry for your loss, but I was at the funeral. I took a bunch of photos and I have a few prints that I would like to give to the station and the family. Would it be okay if I swung by in the next few days to give them to you guys? And he was like, of course. So I went over there, met him. We talked shop for a little bit. I gave him the prints, a couple stickers, my card. And I kid you not, he gave me his cell phone number. 20 minutes after I left, a working structure fire dropped in their auto aid area. And I went because that's what photographers do. I mean, we go to fires. And I can see the header from the freeway. And I texted Gino on the way there. I was like, hey, I can see the header. Like, is this legit? He goes, oh yeah, bro, it's legit. I pulled up and I'm standing on the road, like doing my thing. And he goes, hey, come in the fence and stand next to us. And it honestly kind of spiraled from there. Like a few months later, I asked him to be my mentor because I told him I was going to the fire or leaving Idaho to go to the fire academy. And he said yes. And Gino has been one of my closest friends and mentor ever since. I mean, he is, not to kind of blow smoke up his ass, but he is the kind of fireman I strive to be. Like, he cares about his probies. He cares about his crew. He's very big into, if we're doing it together.
Yeah.
And I met Jason at the 2023 March Mayhem. Like, he was just teaching a class. I had never met him. And we were just laughing and joking. And then I ran into him in 2024 again. And he invited me to go to MAFC with him. So I went with them and he patched me in on the drill ground at MAFC in 2024. And it's been a wild ride ever since. I mean, as the new guy on Ambassadors of the Craft, I don't do a whole lot of teaching. I do a lot of photography. If there's an engine that needs to be pumped or lines need to be flaked, I do that. I do a lot of the grunt work. I mean, none of the guys on AOTC are above it, but I'm like, you guys are teaching. Let me do this stuff.
Sure.
And they have been big on like, hey, what do you think? Or, hey, come listen to this. This is going to be really important for you. Like, bringing me all under their wings. I mean, everybody, like Griffin from Stash Salt and Grayson, who's known as True North, Colin, the truckie. I mean, the whole cadre has been awesome. And I mean, Gino asked me in March Mayhem in 2024, asked me to be his media director because he saw how much like I was kind of Johnny on the spot for him, as people have described it. And I can't say I do all the media by myself at March Mayhem. I have a great team behind me, and I don't think I'd be able to do it by myself while staying non-committed to an institution. So it's kind of one of those things that, like, my director of videography, Max Myers, who runs 1076 Media, he is a stellar videographer. And you'll get to meet him at March Mayhem. He is going to kind of kind of help run the technical side and the video and the editing and stuff like that. And, like I said, I have a great team behind me. Like if you look at my website, I have my own team at 760, who is all firefighters that I went to the academy with. And I'm not a self-made man by any means. There's a lot of people that have helped me out, and Jason and Gino, chief among them. Like they have been incredible mentors and friends. It's kind of, I hate to say this, but they've kind of filled in the roles that my brothers have left off.
Yeah.
Kind of teaching me the life lessons and teaching me how to be a fireman and giving me an example of the fireman that I want to be, that love this job with every fiber of their beings, but also make time for their families and their friends outside of the job.
Yeah, that's great, dude. I love it. I mean, you couldn't ask for better people to teach you the way and to mentor you and keep that passion. Honestly, I'm sure with the energy that you have, it continues to ignite their passion and their energy and keeps them going and making them feel a little bit younger as well, because you've got this young buck who's just constantly going, let's do this, let's do that. And what about this? And what about that? And that's what's, I talk about it before. It's why I love teaching, especially like we were talking earlier, is teaching young people is so much fun because they have that energy and asking 1,000 questions. And sometimes the questions are relentless, but it's so much fun because you're exhausted because you're having fun getting down and dirty with them. And, for people now like myself who've gotten up there in age, I'm pushing 47, it's getting down and moving hose with the young bucks and showing them like, look, I can move better than you can. Like, I'm gonna show you how I can do this. And it keeps you invigorated. So that's really cool.
Fulmer and Gino, love the two of them, and I'm in no means in the best shape of my life. Those dudes can outpace me on their worst days, and I'm like, how in the hell are you doing that? And like Grayson Pollock and Kyle McIntosh on the cadre at MAFC, they grab me and they're like, hey, Bonar, get in here. Like, we're going to show you some fire papers. Like, okay. And Kyle goes, sit in this corner. I'm going to do some crazy shit. And I was like, okay.
That's awesome. That's so cool, man. You got such great people that they're just such wonderful humans, and they genuinely care about the whole mission. And that's the key of it, man. And I love that. So when you're teaching at the academy, now I'm going to ask you like a serious question.
Yeah.
You said you have less than 2 years on as a firefighter, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be people, I'm sure, that are listening going, wait a minute, how can he be an instructor? He hasn't even been to a fire yet.
Yeah.
So what makes you qualified or able to teach? And again, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not
not at all. I totally understand.
Because in this day and age, especially with social media, you get those people who love to eat other firefighters, right? Who are going to just crap all over people and say, how can you teach anybody if you don't even know how to do this yourself and you've never done it? So I'm going to circumvent that, and I'm going to ask the question myself.
Yeah.
So how are you able to teach if you've never been to a structure fire yourself?
One thing I always tell my students is, look, guys, I am not the end all be all. I have tips and tricks that I have learned in my short career and from people that I've known. And what works for me may not work for you. I'm here to teach you how to pass the certifying test. I've taken it, I've passed it. That's what I'm here to teach you how to do. I'll show you the things that I've learned. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I'm still learning every day. And my biggest point that I always tell my students is the day you stop learning or the day you think you know everything is the day you need to retire. And the program director at the academy, retired Chief Joe White, has put an incredible amount of faith in myself and the other 2-year guys that I think between us, there has been 3 structure fires of the 6 of us. And 2 car fires. Like, it's not a lot. And he has put an incredible amount of trust in us because he knows that, at least for me, that I'm not too proud to say, hey, Joe, like, I'm not real confident in this. Can you come over and take control of this group and show him some things? Because Joe and his other primary instructor have 35 years on each. So at least for me, I think I'm qualified because I'm not too proud to ask for help. And I'm not too proud to admit that I don't have a lot of time on. I don't have a lot of experience. I just pick up stuff from different things that people that tell me and things I see on Instagram and YouTube. And if it works for me, great. If it doesn't work for you, I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm not going to be that guy who's like, you got to do it my way. because that's the only way. Because I don't have a way. I've never been to a fire.
Right.
So it's like, what right do I have to say my way is the only way?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least for me, I just try to stay humble, and I try to laugh with the students a lot, and we're not as militaristic as other academies. Like, I tell them, like, you don't have to call me sir. You can call me Brian. I'm not that far off in age from you guys. I'm not that far off in career from you guys. Just when I'm speaking, please show me respect. And when you're speaking, I'll show you respect. Like, we're going to have fun. We're going to learn a lot, and we're going to work hard. And this is a Jason Fulmer thing. If I'm teaching, if the students are in bunker pants, I'm in bunker pants.
Yes, sir.
I may not have my coat on, but I will always have my helmet, my gloves, my pants, always. Because if they're in it, I'm in it. That's something that Jason and Gino have hammered into me. So,
yeah,
at least for me, that's how I feel I'm qualified.
They brought that up in the last podcast they were on with me, and they talked about that too. That that's their motto, is that we're going to be doing this together in bunker gear. And you're absolutely right. I like that you have that that humbleness already. That you don't know it all, and you're not pretending to know it all. You're just giving the knowledge that you acquired back to the academy that you came up in, and I think that's great. That there's a young person in there that is not this bitter, jaded, 30, 40-year-old member or retired member that's maybe pissed off at the world, and he's just here for just to be in it. And sometimes he'll teach you something good, other times he'll just walk around kind of pissed off and jaded at life. We all get those kind of instructors. I've been fortunate enough, though, like in my career, when I was coming up in the academy, I had really good instructors. They weren't pissed off, they weren't jaded, so it inspired me to do the same thing you're doing. I think the instructors that come up that really do give a shit are the ones that have great instructors, and that's what keeps us going. And I think that's what keeps the generations of driven instructors. That if we actually have those that actually give a shit and want to treat people with respect and give that good message back, and they'll create more good instructors. Same thing with firefighters. We everyone should just be good people. And when you have good people and passionate instructors and passionate firefighters, that is contagious, and you'll start breeding that better culture. And like I said, I always pay respect to one of the instructors that really motivated and inspired me. And his name is Michael Clark, and he passed away from cancer. And he was well known, just not in New Hampshire, but Massachusetts, Florida. I mean, everywhere. He traveled all over the place. A lot of people know who Clarky was, old man Clark. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have been as motivated to start teaching. And I've had, the reason why I asked you that question is because I've had people who've snapped back at me when I first started becoming an instructor. Like, how can you instruct? You've only been doing this for 3 years. You don't have enough time on to be an instructor yet, right? But when is a good time? When is an appropriate time that I can actually, to you, cut my teeth or to have the instructor role? Like, who says, okay, I now dub thee ready to be instructor, right? So I love it. I love that you're in it, and you're preaching a good message. Plus, I mean, man, you have some amazing teachers that you're with them all the time. So you're giving all that information and knowledge that Fulmer and Gino and the other cadres that are giving back to you, and you're giving it back to them. You couldn't ask for anything better.
We joke a lot, myself and the program director. I mean, Joe is awesome. I mean, him and Corey have been amazing instructors and mentors to me, aside from Gino and Fulmer. And we joke because Gino and Fulmer are like, we're big smoothbore guys. We love smoothbores. Like, we love the tradition behind them. We love the large droplets and the reach and the power behind them. Just a little piece of steel. And Joe goes, oh, there goes Brian talking about smoothbores again. I was like, oh, there goes Joe talking about combination nozzles again.
Yeah.
And we just joke, and we're like, you know what? I even told the kids, I was like, it's a tool in the toolbox. Like, yeah, me as a 6 foot tall, 250 pound guy can muscle a 7/8 a lot better than some of our students who are 5 foot nothing, 110 pound females. Like, but I have seen these girls, I swear to you, man, like, muscle a 160 GPM smoothbore and out-muscle me. And I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? This was awesome.
I love seeing that. It's always fun to see them like just kill it. And, In the fire service, the sexism should be blind, color, race, creed, sex, all that.
100% agree.
Right? If you're strong in those skills and you're good, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what your background is. If you give a shit about the fire service and you want to do well, that's what's going to show up. If you're a shithead, and it doesn't matter again what your background is, you're just a shithead.
Yeah. I was laughing. We were doing a multi-company drill. So at our academy, when I started, we had one engine and it worked sometimes. And now we have 3. They all work all the time in an ambulance. And I was driving the rig, one of the rigs, for a scenario. We had him turn out in the bay. We responded out. And the officer, quote unquote, turned back to his crew and goes, "All right, boys, we're going to Jobtown." I was like, yes, keep doing that.
That's awesome.
And they're so... I love seeing it. They're so passionate about being firemen and learning and wanting to be there and lifting each other up. And the other instructors and I, we always laugh. We're like, we have not seen an ounce of quit in any of these kids. And we're like, damn, all right.
That is so cool. You're doing something right for them to keep having smiles and wanting to just keep pushing forward and showing you what they got, dude. I love it. Now, so you've got March Mayhem and you have 760 Fire Photo. So I want to check out your website of your photography. So we're gonna check that out here.
Please excuse, some of the incidents are kind of old. I have not updated that website in a while.
So this is your website, and so these are a lot of these kind of action photos and whatnot, right?
Yeah. That is kind of my specialty, is the action photography.
So are you still doing this? This is still something you're very passionate about? This is something
I try to when I get a chance. Unfortunately, the last couple of years, I have not gone out much just because of how busy I've been being a probie and, teaching. It really has slowed down a lot, but I try my best to get out when I can. I'm the AOTC photo guy, so every time we go out, if I'm there, I got a camera with me. Every time my department does something fun, like a cool training, I'll have my camera with me.
Masters of the Craft.
So I will try to get out as often
March
as I
Mayhem.
can. Unfortunately, I just don't have a ton of time for it anymore.
Good stuff there.
But I try my best. I honestly, March Mayhem and AOTC and work take up a lot of my time. So sometimes, some days I laugh with my other instructors who are some of my best friends, and I say, you know what? I'm just going to go home and be flat for a while.
So we got Ambassadors of the Craft. And they got March Mayhem, the University of the Colorado. You've got a lot of stuff in here. You've been doing a lot.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 6 year, going on 7 years now. I actually was just recently, one of my photos was on the cover of Fire Engineering.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Was the May 2025 edition was actually my photo, which was really cool to get that email.
And what photo was that? Because I don't have that up.
It was, I actually have the copy of it. It was one of my cadre members, Cody Trotsky's brother, Corey, at March Mayhem 2024.
So cool. Congratulations,
so that was a pretty cool accomplishment.
Man.
Thank you. It's Fire Engineering is an awesome. Chief Rhodes and that magazine have been a really good inspiration for me. And their other magazine, Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment, I've actually been on the cover of that 3 times in the last 6 years, which has been, you get published once, you're like, oh my God, it's awesome. Every time I get an email that I'm getting published, I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Do you submit your photos, or do they see them online and go, hey, we'd like to use that?
Sometimes like newspapers and stuff and schools and whatnot will say, hey, can we use this? But most of these bigger magazines, they require a submission. So I will submit the photo manually.
Okay.
But I mean, there's thousands. I mean, you go on Instagram, you type in fire photographer, there's 50,000 accounts of guys that are just as good, if not better than me.
Yeah.
At this photography thing that are doing this. So it's really humbling, and I'm really appreciative of getting picked to be on these covers, because I'm like, holy crap, like somebody somewhere is like, this dude's photo is awesome. We want to use this.
That is, I mean, that is quite the accomplishment. Again, especially being so young, dude, like you're doing amazing things. Like the fact that you're with the Ambassadors of the Craft, you got your photography, you're living out your dream of being a firefighter. You're getting your pictures published in Fire Engineering and other magazines. Like dude, you've already done a lot more than most people do, like around my age. So the fact that you've already like you're killing it, man, and you're checking those boxes of what you want to do in life. You're a fine young man, and I just think it's so cool to see you doing these great things and not giving up on your dreams. And I love seeing people succeed. So I want to see. We're going to share the March Mayhem page, see what's going on with that, and see what that's about.
Haven't updated that website in a while either, so please excuse. There's some stuff from the 2025 conference that's still on there.
So we've got the March Mayhem Fire Conference, and that's coming up obviously in March of 2026 in Boise, Idaho. I know we're going to have amazing instructors, amazing classes that are going to be going on. I've been talking with you, been talking with Marty Cornelison about everything that's getting ready to be planned. The guest list is going to be fantastic. This will be my first time going to Idaho, and tell me what it's like. Like, what's the experience like for people who are thinking about going and who've never been?
March Mayhem, honestly, is truly something special. It is a different beast. This year is the biggest and longest it's ever, I know that's could be misconstrued as a dirty joke. It is the biggest conference and the longest conference we've ever done. We went from 3 days, from 1 day of lecture and 2 days of hands-on, to now 2 days of lecture and 3 days of hands-on.
Nice.
It is honestly probably one of the best experiences for brotherhood I have ever experienced as a new fireman. Like, there's dudes from all over the freaking place. Like, our instructors range from everywhere from Washington to Florida and everywhere in between. We have firefighters from like basically Southern California, San Diego to freaking Canada showing up to take classes. We've got live fire classes, command classes. We've got a driver class this year. We've got 2-day lecture workshops. Our lectures, the really cool thing, at least for me, about March Mayhem on the lecture side is it's all these big names coming to come speak, like you and Preston and Bo Butler, and everybody's coming to speak. And everybody's like, oh, I want to see this guy and this guy. The really cool thing that Gino has done with March Mayhem is everybody gets to see everybody. You don't get to have to be like, oh, I'm going to pay for this lecture and go from there. Yep. You get to see everyone, which is a really cool thing that, and I got to say, it's Gino. We call him the Godfather for a reason. So we chuckle. We always say we call him, because he is the most Italian person I've ever met in my entire life. Like, his first name is Gino and his middle name is Gianfranco. So, and I'm like, Gino, you are the most Italian dude I've ever met in my entire life. And we call him the Godfather for a reason. Like, this would not happen without him. And Jason Fulmer and him started this conference in 2022 with the only goal of bringing affordable, high quality training to the Treasure Valley in the Boise area.
Yep.
And it has just snowballed from there. They had one class in 2022, and including instructors, 40 people show up. And last year we had 462 seats sold over the whole weekend with firefighters from 16 states in Canada. Gino and I were just talking about it the other day, how crazy it's been and what a ride it's been.
It's really building, and I mean, it's something to talk about. And again, you got guys like Griffin Coiner, who's from Stash Salt, the Stash guy. Like the fact that he's there too, and really giving all of his energy to it. I see all the posts you guys make about it. The way you talk about it just shows how much it means to so many people. And when you say like the brotherhood, the networking. It is crazy how that can motivate you. It's crazy how much that means to people. And again, I talk about Bears of the Oath, and I talk about the Daggum Fire Conference a lot because it was the same thing. It was so eye-opening. It was such a world-changing event for me to be able to spend time with these like-minded individuals. But it wasn't just like being strangers and leaving as strangers, to be able to like walk away with brothers and sisters, and it's you're getting the skills, but at the same time you're walking away with just so many more friends, and they're people that you continue to talk with and text and and email or whatever, just to be able just to say hi. Hey, I text guys all the time. I miss you.
Yeah.
Like I want to hang with you. I miss seeing you. And you build that relationship, and it only comes from getting out of your comfort zone and leaving your states and going to these events. And it really is, like you said, it's just like something you've never experienced before.
Yeah, and I gotta give a shout out, speaking of dadgum, to Kevin Pfluger. He is on Ambassadors of the Craft, and so is Griffin Coiner. If you go on the AOTC training website, aotctraining.com, I finally updated that website.
Okay.
But those guys, Pfluger, working for Mercedes Hose, got me a massive discount to get the CMU Tech Fire Academy outfitted with some brand new hose. So 2 of our engines only run Mercedes hose now.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
It's all brand new. And Pfluger basically got it to us at cost. So, I mean, I cannot thank these guys enough for what they do for the fire service and what they do for me. Like, teaching me and helping my academy out, because I owe them a debt I can't repay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the brotherhood, dude, right? I mean, like, again, we could talk about it, but if you've never experienced it, it's hard to really put into words. And you can say brotherhood all day long, but it's really, you have to feel it. You have to be there. You have to embrace it. And it's that feeling you get when you're around them. And it has nothing to do with recognition of names, right? It's not about the big names. It's not about that. Like, I've met some of the most amazing, humble people that nobody knows who they are. You know, the big names are the big names because they're so knowledgeable, and they've dedicated their lives and dedicated so much and sacrificed so much to get to where they are. And that's why a lot of people know who they are, because they're not slacking, and they treat people with respect. And also they've put in the time and energy and education to get where they are. But there's also just so many amazing people that don't get that recognition. It's just because they don't want it. Like, they just want to do work. They want to go to conferences, meet people, have fun, and then go back home. And I think I love meeting those type of people, like, to be able to, like, embrace them. And, like, when I meet those people, those are the people I want to talk to. You know, the ones that nobody knows about, the ones that, like, are so humble, and they're just like, they just want to do their thing and remain in the shadows and go home. Like, no, I want someone to know about you. The same thing with you, Brian. Like, I want people to know who you are, because you're doing great things. And I love meeting people who are just super humble and just want to do good things in the world and make our lives better and happier. And you're doing exactly that. And it's cool to see that.
And
it's cool to
you know,
tell
man,
people.
I'm not the most humble person on earth. I will admit to my faults. I kind of talked a little bit of shit to my AOTC brothers and challenged somebody to a drinking contest that I shouldn't have at MAFC, and kind of had to learn a lesson the hard way. And it was not a fun next day, but these guys were like, look, man, you talked shit and you were kind of running it. They're like, we had to kind of teach you a lesson. I was like, you know what? I'll accept the lesson, because sometimes when you think you're humble, or you think you're being nice, and you run your mouth and you're kind of acting like a cocky, arrogant douchebag, you got to get reality checked.
Yep.
And nobody has been like, I'm not going to be your friend anymore because of this. They're like, dude, you fucked up. You're young. Just learn the lesson and don't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, cool. Not going to need to be telling me twice. That was the worst hangover of my entire life.
That's a life lesson there. When you try to outdrink the old timers, right? The big boys that have been doing it for quite some time. Like, I honestly, I don't drink anymore. Like, I have, like, social drinks. I can't drink it. Like, it will kill me. So, you know, it's a hard lesson to learn when you get that hangover that lasts for a week, dude. Like, I know what you're talking about.
I swear it was for like 2 days. I was like, I texted Colin, was the guy that I challenged. I was like, bro, is this normal? He goes, no, you moron. I was like, all right, cool. He goes, are you okay? I was like, I'm okay. It just sucks. And he goes, we've all been there, bro. We've all been there.
Yep. I've had my fair share of those type of nights where I passed on my front lawn before. So let's see. We got the ambassadors of the craft site as well, like you were just talking about. And so let's see. Let's meet our cadre here. So meet our cadre. Meet our dedicated. And so you've got you got the guys. So you've got Jason Fulmer, you've got Gino, Colin Ward. I love that stash that Colin's got, man. That's a hell of a stash.
It is legendary.
You got some really, really amazing guys that have a lot of information, really good practical skills, and just look at that handsome fellow right there. Look at that guy.
That is a sleep deprived mustache right there. That was day 3 of Mayhem. I think I was on like my 4th energy drink in that picture.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to actually hanging with all these guys, be able to actually know who they are. I'm really excited to do this with Preston, to be there. So if people don't know myself, the C.A.N Report, Preston Lyons from the Overhaul podcast. We're going to be going to March Mayhem. We're going to be doing a pod class. We're going to be meeting and greeting everybody who's there. We'll be on the drill yard and meeting all of you and talking with the majority of you, hopefully. We're going to ask you questions when you're coming out of those hot classes. I want to talk to you. I want to know what you think. I want to know how the class went. I want to know how excited you were, all those things. So I'm going to be roaming around. Preston's going to be roaming around. We're going to be doing our thing. And we're going to have like a meet and greet. And we're going to be talking, just doing our thing like we're doing right now, but in person. So I'm really excited. I'm stoked to be there. I'm very honored and blessed. Honestly, like it means so much to me that I get to be a part of this, at least maybe just a small part. And I get to see a lot of my friends too, like seeing you and seeing Marty and then getting to hang out with Kevin. And it's going to be a great thing to be able to be a part of that. And
yeah, and I will tell you the pod class idea, because when we did a call for presenters, we didn't see anything like that on the list. And our board, our board is a solid group of dudes. I cannot include myself in this because I just do what Gino tells me to do and I push a button on a camera. So, Gino is our conference director. Kyle McIntosh is our kind of operations and prop and live fire guy. We call him the wizard for a reason. Marty is our director of sponsors. Jason's our director of raffles and socials. We've got Jason Gates and Ken Bowman and Jeff Krustowski. I really hope I say his name right. He's probably going to kick my ass. Anyways, but these guys, Marty brought up the pod class in one of our meetings, and we were all like, hell yeah, let's do it. And Gino goes, hey, because my nickname, unfortunately, is a derivative of my last name.
Sure, I guess.
Gino goes, hey, Bonar, can you do that? And I was like, I don't know, figure it out. So
it's a great idea. I think it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited for it. It's something that I don't think has really been done before. So I'm kind of going to do what I did at FDIC, where I just shoved a camera in people's faces, shoved my phone in people's faces, and just talk to them. And I think that's the best way to go, and really just be able to help promote it and make it special. Whatever you guys need me to do, we're doing it.
Yeah, if you want a camera, brother, like the media team this year, I gotta shout out my guys. They are a solid group of dudes and women this year. And I'd say probably 85% of our media team is firemen. That's awesome. We're all firemen. If you need one of us, you grab one of us. There is going to be 14 people with camera running around that conference, plus that's production assistants. Like last year I had 7 production assistants and 5 photographers. And this year I'm hoping for like 5 or 6 production assistants and 14 photographers.
That's
a
really cool
thing. Really cool thing about March Mayhem and how special it is Joe, my program director, has heard so much about it. We started sending students.
Oh, nice.
Gino has offered them free lecture days to come and volunteer. And then the instructors of the hot classes of the places they're assigned are grabbing them and putting them in and putting them through reps. And I'm like, wow, these kids are getting invaluable experience and knowledge that they wouldn't get anywhere else.
No, they wouldn't, right? Like, this is pretty key, dude. Like, to be able to come in for free, to be able to get all that education and hands-on experience and knowledge, it doesn't happen very often. So I think that is so cool to give that back and let those students partake in that. And that just, again, says a lot about the characters of the people who run this program. And all the people that you got on your staff running this just shows how big it is and how much is built up over the years. It's awesome to see it.
Yeah.
It shows that, that people are doing it for the right reasons. It's not about making money or name recognitions. It's literally just about giving back and providing that service to get more education to the hands of the firefighters.
And Mike, I'll tell you, like, nobody gets paid $1. Like,
That's cool.
we pay the instructors their fees and their airfare and their hotels because, these guys are running businesses. We're not going to say, hey, come do this for free.
Yeah.
But nobody on the board makes $1. Like, and at least for me, in the younger generation of firemen, it's like, oh, I got to get paid. Like I said, I come from a wealthy family. I don't need to worry about money. But I look at Gino, who has a family and is a working fire captain, and he's got people to support, and still him not taking $1 to pay himself. I'm like, damn. Like, I looked at him, I was like, bro, take some money, like, pay yourself. And he's like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
also
so
the love of the
cool.
job.
Exactly. Giving back. That's the biggest thing, right? Giving back. You have the knowledge, you have the education, and to give it back is so important. And that's why I try to give to everybody here. I'm not going to charge for subscriptions. I'm not, even when I'm doing my own class and I have my company, and if there's a department, a smaller community that can't afford it, I always tell them, like, dude, you don't have to pay me. Like, if I have knowledge that you want, I'm going to give it to you, and I'm not going to charge you for it, because then I'd just be a hypocrite. Right. And I want to give back something that maybe hopefully they can use in the future. And that's what it's about, is giving back to the future generations and to help our service grow and be better. And I'm excited also give a shout out to the Old South Fools. Their conference is coming up in a few short weeks in Mississippi, and we get to see the AOTC boys, and I'm very excited for that. We get to see Jay and Gino, and we get to see a whole bunch of new faces and old faces. So if people haven't bought any tickets yet, please check it out. I think they might still have some available. Old South Fools, it's going to be in Mississippi. August 8th, it kicks off, where they're going to have some meet and greets. I'll be there. Heath Meredith is going to be there. It's going to be a kick-ass time. And
I got to say, those Old South guys like Travis and those guys, I got to burn with them at MAFC. Those are some of the most solid firemen I have ever met. They are good dudes. They're studs, dude. Like, you are going to have a blast.
They are, man. Like, Jacob is a huge dude with his booming deep voice. And what's cool about them is, they're working under like really tough conditions, right? They have like the minimal of staffing, and that's why I think honestly is why they're such studs, is because they have to get the job done. There's nobody else. It's them. And they don't showboat it either. Like, they go in, they kick ass, and then they just want to hang out and just talk afterwards. And they're probably one of the most humble people I've gotten to meet. And I'm excited to see them again in Mississippi. So again, just a quick shout out for them, that the AOTC Ambassadors of the Craft will be there as well. Clyde Gordon's going to be there. It's going to be a kick-ass time. So if anybody hasn't gotten tickets or they're curious about it, check out the Old South Fools on their social media pages, and you can check out what they got going on. So with that, I really appreciate you, Brian. It's been a kick-ass conversation. I feel like I could talk to you about 2 more hours.
At least,
right? Just everything and anything. I'm probably going to have you on again, because I don't think we even scratched the surface of everything about you. And I'm sure that we could talk about engine ops and hose work and nozzles, and so that'll have to be another conversation for sure. My conversation is really just trying to scratch the surface of who these people are. And I feel like I need to have repeat customers, because we now just know who Brian Bonar is. So now we got to go back and now figure out what you really like about the fire service.
Oh, yeah. Man, like you said, we could talk for 2 more hours. You talk to Fulmer or Gino. I am a freaking dork. Like, I love talking about rigs and nozzles and science. Like, I kid you not. That's the nicest way they could describe me, as a freaking dork.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you can take it, right? Like, it's a terms of endearment. Like,
if they're not making fun of you, they don't like you.
I was just going to say, I literally was just going to say, if they're not making fun of you, they don't like you. So there's a problem there. If someone's being quiet and they're not paying any attention to you, and they're not calling you some weird nickname, it means they don't like you. So, Brian, I appreciate you so much. It means the world to me to have you on here, to have these guests come on. I hope a lot of you get something out of this. If you have any questions about Ambassadors of the Craft, March Mayhem, or actually photography, if anybody's looking to get into it and what it takes, this is the man, Brian Bonar. He's doing great things. The fact that his pictures are being submitted in these magazines and being accepted and gaining traction, you might want to pick his brain to find out what it is that he's doing right or what it is that he did wrong to figure out the right way. And I think it's really cool that you're doing these photos and you're living your dream. And I can't wait to see what else you do. I can't wait to see you succeed in the fire service and grow into an amazing fireman. So before I end it, I always like to drop a line with about next rung. If anybody is needing help, if anybody needs some mental health services, please check out Next Rung. You never have to go through this battle alone. Mental health is a big deal for me. If you're struggling and you don't know how to get help, Next Rung is able to help you. I have their card here, so there's the barcode. Make sure you scan that. Make sure you check that out. If you need help, that's how to get it right there. And on the back of that card, it has their numbers. So make sure you are checking them out. You can go online, Instagram, Facebook, their website. They make it easy for us. So if you're needing help, contact them, text them if you need to. They'll get right back to you. And then they're going to get you the help that you need. Like, they'll make the appointments for you. They'll find the clinics in your area, and then they're going to get the help for you. But you have to make that first step. You have to get out. You have to make that call or make that text to make it happen. No one else is going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. We need you around. So make sure you are reaching out to them if you need the assistance. So thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate being on the C.A.N Report. And you know what? I'm going to start kicking off a new thing. So I always say Nozzle Tov by myself. My last guest, Harrison Klein, he is my Hebrew brother, and I had him say it with me. But you know what? I'm just going to have everybody say it with me.
I'm down.
Right? So
it doesn't matter what you believe. The way of the nozzle is life, bro.
That's right, my friend. So you all take care. Be safe.
Nozzle Tov.
Nozzle Tov. Love it. Nice job, my friend. All right, guys. Take care. Be safe.